Today we're going to take a look at your virtual teaching studio. With more and more schools moving to a virtual or hybrid learning environment, teachers may be concerned about how effectively they are communicating with students over video conferencing sites like Zoom. Today I want to focus on two main things. Can they see you, and can they hear you? Now, for a virtual classroom, can they see you is made up of a couple of things. First, the camera. You might think to yourself you need to go out and get the biggest, best 1080p HD camera that you can find. However, before you reach deep down into your underfunded pockets, let's talk about what sites like Zoom and Skype do to your video before it makes it to the person on the other end of the call. The main process that happens is called compression. Not to get too technical, but the basic idea is that the internet runs much like a pipeline. The more you try to cram through it, the slower everything goes. So, internet companies and sites take out as much unnecessary information as possible to make the whole thing run better. This takes your amazing 1080p footage and pulls out a lot of the expensive quality and makes it look just like every other video on the tiny screen. So you could go out and buy a high quality camera, but if you're working with a recent computer or device, the built-in camera will probably get the job done. What you can do to make your video look better is fix the lighting. Have you ever been on a call and noticed that people look like they are in a dark subway station waiting for the C train, but Judy from accounting looks like an Instagram model? Well, Judy knows the secret of lighting. You could be watching a film that is the most amazing movie of all time, but none of it matters if the screen is a dark mess that makes it difficult to follow any of the action. Now, movies use tons of different lighting types and styles, but for the purposes of this video, we're only going to focus on one: the key light. A key light is a light that points directly at the subject and limits the shadows. In a movie, you don't usually want this to be too bright because you lose detail and flatten out your subject. But on a Zoom call, this illuminates your features and takes away shadows that can make you look, well, tired. To pull this off, you take a light and blast it right at your face. This will be uncomfortable and weird for the first few times, but you do get used to it. There are a few options for this, so let's take a look at a couple. Ring lights. There are a few different ring lights in varying price ranges. The one I have is the UB size 10-inch version. It comes with a phone mount and a remote button for those of you who love getting that perfect selfie. You can get this one on Amazon for about 25 bucks. Ring lights range from around 15 up into the hundreds of dollars. But in this use case, expensive doesn't really mean better. The reason these are a good choice is because it's what they're designed for. These lights make you look good from close up. But there are some cheaper alternatives. Lamps. Chances are you have a lamp somewhere near you. Take that thing, get it as close to your face as possible, and boom. A lighting option that could be free if you already have the lamp. The homebrew option. The homebrew idea is mostly about diffusing light. If you take a flashlight and point it at your face, you might notice that the light is concentrated in certain areas and is tough to look at for very long. To fix this, you need to diffuse or spread out the light by sending it through something thin before it makes its way to your face. I would recommend a sheet of heat-resistant butcher paper. Why not regular paper? Fire. Fire is the reason. This paper will take the light and soften it to be easier on your eyes and more distributed around the subject. You can use this on a flashlight, work light, or a lamp to give a similar effect to the expensive lighting options. Can they hear you? Now that we've covered the visual portion, let's talk about audio. I want to start with the most important piece of equipment for a video call: headphones. I don't want to come off as too harsh about this, but if you aren't using headphones on video calls, you are the world's worst monster, and there is a special place in hell for you. Kidding aside, why are headphones so important, you may ask? This. this. We've all been in the middle of a call, and James unmutes himself, and a cacophony of echoes ensues. The reason this happens is because the sound from the speaker goes into the microphone, and that slight delay makes the mic think that it's new information which needs to be broadcast. Then that gets picked up, and the loop continues. It's the same thing that happens when a mic on stage is too close to the speaker. With headphones, that return noise is so quiet that it doesn't make it back to the microphone, ensuring that everyone on the call can remain unmuted without the fear of the dreaded feedback echo. But some of you may be saying, I walk around as I teach, or I'm too far away from the computer for headphones. Fear not, because technology has already solved this problem. Wireless headphones! Unless you're working on a computer from the late 90s, I can pretty much guarantee that your computer has a Bluetooth connection. Just click the little menu at the bottom right, or you can search Bluetooth on your computer. These headphones are super easy to connect, and most come with a built-in microphone, giving you the freedom to roam about your empty classroom or bedroom or wherever you are. Microphones. I want to be perfectly honest with you about your school's computer. They took the cheapest microphone they could and put it in your computer because the assumption was that you were never going to use it. But here you are, and your audio's terrible. Okay, maybe it's not terrible, but if you're teaching a 20-minute class and students are listening to low-quality audio, they're going to be way more likely to just tune you out. Let's talk about some microphones. As said before, some headphones come with built-in microphones, and these are going to be better than most built-in microphones. But I want to focus on some of the better quality USB mics. The Yeti. The first microphone is the Yeti by Blue. If you watch YouTube or listen to podcasts, you might already be familiar with this mic. This is the one most beginners buy, and there's a reason for that. The Yeti has several different audio modes, and one of the best audio quality is in its price range. But this one isn't only good stuff, it is a bit bulky and takes up a lot of real estate on your desk. And then there's the price. When I bought mine, you could pick it up for under $100, but the newer models seem to have gone up in price. The Fifine. This is the Fifine K669B. As you can see, it's quite a bit smaller than the Yeti, and the price drops significantly. You can pick this mic up for $35 on Amazon. The audio quality suffers a little bit, but when you're on a Zoom call, it would be more than sufficient. There are many more microphones ranging in price from $5 to basically as much as you want to pay. But these are the two microphones that I have, so there you go. At the end of the day, a good teacher can make whatever they have work to teach their students effectively. But I hope that this information has given you an idea of what might work in your class and what might be a bit too much. Now you can go forth and put together your own studio and teach with the confidence that you can be both seen and heard. Thanks for watching.